Hi everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with a video for our junk journal side, and we're going to make some ephemera. I have been dying to make clusters. I have been seeing, oh wow, right out of my head there, Roxy Creations. She did some, of course, Gayle's been doing some. I mean, everybody's just been shabby dabby doo-dah. Tina, God, I'm loving what she is so inspired. They're all inspiring. Okay, that was a bad ramble. So we're just going, I'm going to show you the different ways and things that you can use. And I also want to focus on stamps. I mean, we have a lot of stamps. So, or maybe you do. You know, but if you don't have, you know, actual postage stamps, or, you know, you don't want to do a digital download because you have these stamps, you know, again, there's all kinds of different ways that we can do this. So let's just dig right in. So here I have a piece of coffee paper. Now, I believe it was Roxy Creations, and I apologize if I'm getting this wrong here because I'm horrible not getting notes taken, where she just created her clusters up on here. She just kept on adding and adding and adding and all of that fun stuff. And then she would just tear down the page. You can also just tear down your pages here and just lay them out, which is probably the way that I'm going to do it, only because I'm used to that when I do my Spellbinders card kit. Yes, I'm walking away for a second here because I'm realizing I forgot something else. And, what I found is I'm good with just slapping some stuff down onto the table, so to speak. And that's kind of sort of what I do. So we're going to do that same thing here, I think. So I'm just going to gather some. I have all, I thought I did. I do now have everything here. So I have some fabric scraps, and again, I'm sticking with a similar color. This is a lot of what the colors that I would use for the most part that would fit in. These are just some of my coffee dyed scraps, some awesome strips that I have, even though they may have printing on them. You know, why not? I mean, these here would be absolutely perfect to start collaging on. This is just the plain. I've got some muslin here. And then when I talk about stamping, now there's so many stamps that are available out there. Oh, I've also got buttons. I've got brown and white. And I've got ivory. You can also use color buttons. I mean, why not? You know, don't limit yourselves by all means. I've got some book pages here. We'll just make sure that there's no naughty words in there that we should do. But what I also have here are my stamped stamps. Yes, I stamped stamps. And tickets and such. I stamped them just on general plain thin, about 60-pound cardstock. I also have advertisements that I do, you know, from the brightest of greens. Again, remember, we ink around everything, so it dyes that color down when it comes to all of these. Now, where did I get those? Stampers Anonymous. So this is the stamps. Okay, let me do, I forgot to do my caveat here. Okay, so video will be long. It will be gabby. If that's not for you, please continue on. That's how my videos are. That's who I am. So they will continue. Okay, let's move on. So you can see here, this is called Stamp Collector. And this is all kinds of stamps. Now, what I try to do when I stamp this, I literally try to keep this all in one piece. I have not separated these out from this piece. So I try to pull it off in one sheet, put it in my stamp positioning tool, and then I just stamp multiple copies of it. And then as I need them, I can cut away. Now, Stampers Anonymous also has another stamp. These are adverts. So these are advertisements, you know, vintage advertisements that you would see. So here you can, you know, stamp your own. You've got a painter, and it's funny, you know, when we say James F. Donovan, you know, during my time when I'm working, you know, which is now, I deal with another Donovan company. So that's kind of neat to see. Rubber, metal stamps, dually, electric, Millery. So all kinds of different advertisements. And then those I hold in here. And you can see all of the bright colors of paper. They just add that splash of color to any project. You can get individual ones. This is from the Tim Holtz collection. So that's a ticket. Okay. So you have that. That's a wooden block. And then there's also this. Of course, this is chocolate. Or chocolate fabric. Not sure what that says. You would think. I think of chocolate. So chocolate fabric. At least that's what I would think. Anyway, so you have this one as well. This is from Stampers Anonymous as well. So you can get them individually or you can get them in sets. Speaking of tickets, here are some tickets that you can stamp. There is a die set that is associated with this as well that you can utilize. Now again, if you're a stamper, then that would be the way to go. If you're not a stamper and you're, you know, you would like to do a digital download, you can do that as well. Tracy Fox has a great digital download, and we'll use some of these. So they're in color. She has two sets. She's got a set B, and she has a set A. And in both sets, they are in like brown shades, and then you can see they go into brighter colors. Or they stay within the neutral palette. So you do have many choices that you can choose from. Again, if you don't want to stamp or you don't have the stamps, there are options. And as I said, she does have two sets. So we're going to try to use, you know, each of these. Matter of fact, I think I'm just going to take these top two. And I am using them from her set A. So we'll have these as well. So again, you've got all of these different options. So I'm going to keep that one down here, and I'm just going to grab a bunch of these. And we're just going to go to town and start layering. So I'm going to look at, and again, I want these to be nice size clusters for the most part. Just going to cut that in half. Oh, cut that one badly. And I'll come up. Now, when it comes to these tickets, what I can also do is I can bring in my hole punch, and I can just take off that little tiny area there with the tip of my hole punch. And again, I can do the same thing, cover up that white spot. But then I have these sections in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fold the ticket. So I'm going to fold this one. Same thing. I'm going to come in, just put it to the tip. Make sure I go down far enough, which I did. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to fold it in half. Make sure it's lined up on the sides. Take my hole punch. And then just take that out. So now I've got a image that truly does resemble a ticket, and I can have this going back and forth. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there. I'm going to grab a piece of my muslin, grab this, and I'm going to tear it. I love when I tear fabrics. Yes, I get many strings all over the place. It's kind of funny. But I do tremendously enjoy it. So I'm just going to cut some strips and some pieces down because I do want to have a few rectangles as well. So again, just grab, you know, dig into those scraps, dig into those pieces that you have that you may think are too small, which I'm sure they're not. And again, I'm going to crisscross that. And I'm going to put that like that. I also want to grab some colored material. This one is just my favorite. I don't know why, but it truly is. So I am going to, I changed the way my camera's sitting, so I'm checking it once in a while just to make sure that I am in focus. I try to get the stragglers out of there. So let's see, let's take this, and we'll take that, and we'll do that. I think I want to put, you know what, I think I'm going to come, so, I'm going to cut that one in half. All right, and I think I want a piece of, I'm going to take one of my tickets. So here's a cool day ticket, and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to use my scissors. So I'm going to trim off around it, just on the sides, because I want that to be a straight edge. And then I'm going to bring in my small pinking shears from Fiskars, and I'm going to go right up onto the edges. So now I've got that jagged edge on each side, just to give it a little bit of interest. And I'm going to put that like that. I want to put that like that. And I think I want to add some book page. Oh yeah, rip that. And I just want to make sure that I don't, well, you know what? I think what I actually want to add got some small pages here. It's called the Pocket University. Let's see. Looking for, you know, something, you know, small print, because this is kind of large. Let's see this book. I forget where I found these books, but this one's called Little Masterpieces of American Wit and Humor. That makes me nervous. I'm just saying. Even though this is from 1903, it still makes me nuts or nervous. Okay, so we're going to go to this one, and I'm going to start from the back, because I think That's just what I'm going to do. So yeah, it's got the gold on there. I'm just going to tear this down. I love the feel of this paper. It's so fragile. So soft. Okay. So I'm going to take that, and I think I'm just going to put that there. And I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to do that. And then I think some buttons will be nice. Now I will ink around this. Absolutely. I just want to get my layout down first. And I think I'm going to put that there. So that's how I'm going to look at that. Now, how will I get all of this together? So I'm going to actually line them up and pray I remember how they went. Yes. So I'm going to tear that, and now we get to ink. And I want to make sure each piece is inked. Now you can also sew around them, you know, as well. I am going to just use my Fabri-Tac just to get them stuck together. So when I do that, when I do use my Fabri-Tac and I'm not sure what I'm about to do, I just put a dot. You know, I just kind of put dots in different places and use the Fabri-Tac very lightly. So there's hardly anything there, but I know it's going to hold. So I'm going to put that there. I know this is next. And I'm going to go around each of the edges, and I'm going to refold it again because I want to make sure that I get those as well. Just like that. And I know that's going to sit there, so I know I'm going to just do this very lightly. Put that down, and then same thing with this. Again, just light amount. I mean, Fabri-Tac is very strong. And I remember I was putting that like that. I'm going to do this gingerly because this paper just feels fragile, but I absolutely love it. I love the feel of it. And it is. I have to go very lightly because she is just cracking all in my hands. Up, see? And that's okay. So now I'm going to put some glue down on this. I might use just a little bit more glue on this one because of it being so fragile. And then this I can just go to town. I do ink these up heavier. I mean, you can see, you know, only a little bit of that blue is visible. I'm going to put that there. And you know what, before I put that button on, I will sew around that. Now again, you don't have to, but I do just want to add like a straight line right through it. So I will be right back to show you how I'll go down on that sewing. Okay, and that's what that looks like. I just go back and forth, and then if I want to tone down, because again, I use a very like an ivory or a cream stitch on my pieces, I'll grab my old buki here and I will just brush right over those strings, and then that just tones them down immediately, and then add some more color to the front of my piece. And now I'm able to just take this button and I am just going to glue her. Now I can also sew her. Yes, I call buttons her as well. I mean, I don't have to be limited to just gluing that button down onto my piece. By using, you know, a jute like this, it's very thin, but and again, hunt around for that because it is up there in cost, but you also are getting a very large amount. I think there's 400 yards on this roll, but still, I mean, she's up there. So if I thread this in my needle, and then I would want to place that right there. So I would go down, hold on to this thread, and then pray I can find the way coming back. Because we all know how this is. So what I do is I'm going to go in, I'm going to puncture, and then I'll be able to come right back up. There we go. And then I will pull up. So you can go around into all 4 holes depending upon how many holes the button does have. I just like to do the 2, and then I just tie a knot. So I'll tie it that way, and then I'll come over this way, and then I will trim those ends. And that is our one cluster. And again, just using your scraps. All right, use what you have to clean out. Now again, I added this. That's a digital download, but again, you can create your own tickets. You can use pictures, you can use other types, you could use scrapbooking paper. You don't have to use these type of items here. You know, think about the different layers of scrapbooking paper that would be here. That would look absolutely gorgeous. So that is what we are accomplishing today. So let's keep going. Let's make some more. And what I'm going to do is I will put them all together, and then I'll just set them aside, and then I'll do some of the, what do you call it, stitching afterwards. But at least you have an idea. All right, so let's have these. I still want to finish this piece up. And that was something, no, I didn't. Okay. So I want to do these. So I have that. I will still keep that piece. Put that there. So again, I am just grabbing, and I love those tassels. I really, really do. Grabbing that. Let's make this, right? I can use that for the top of a tag. So I do keep those. And then I'll put there. And I'll put that one there. So let's use some bright fabrics. I think this is really pretty. So these bright fabrics can help, you know, for when you do a journal that's not so vintagey. Did you like how I said that? And again, I do keep all of my scraps. I have a little tiny bag that I hold. Or you can also use, if you don't like to tear, you can also use, you know, like pinking shears and stuff like that. That's fine as well. I do like this green. Just trim that. I think I want that to go there. And you don't have to use color fabrics either. You know, you can just stick with your papers. So, you know, we can do that. So let's do that for these two. So here we have this beautiful colored paper. My cat just jumped on the chair and he went flying across the room. I'm just saying in case you heard that, because that just looked funny. Just absolutely saying that. Wow. Oh, you gotta love the cat. So you can see you have that difference in that color of paper. So we can add that there, and we can put that one there. And we've got that one there. Let's see. You can even use something like that. Because I can put that there, because it's got a stamp on it, so why not? You right? Right. And I want to use this little red one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use my hole punch to cut away those notches. And I just want that to go right there. I'm going to go into my advertisements here. And I really yes, I'm rummaging. Yes, yes, yes. Do I want the purple or do I want the pink? Oh, I think I want that pink sitting there, and I think I want that purple sitting on that one, because that would just be cool. And then I'm going to dig into my other tickets here. And I think I'm loving that. And they come in all sizes, so that is what's absolutely awesome. There's all kinds of different types, different sizes. That you can just certainly play around with. I like the pop. This color blue is absolutely my favorite. Whenever it came to stamping, I don't know why. It just really was. It was very odd. Very, very odd. Okay, and then, see, there's that blue again. I just love that blue. Well, that just fell right onto that now, didn't it? Okay. So they're the clusters. You know, we're just going to put these together. But now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut down this. And again, these are ones that I stamped using my stamps from Stampers Anonymous. I'm going to use my pinking shears again on the edge. So that one's cut. This one I'm going to go around each of the edges because this is like a postage stamp. All right, but same thing here. I'm going to cut down the edge. And again, trim down each side. So they are all set. For this ticket, I do like to go down each side for my tickets. Now, again, there are dies that coordinate with these, and it's really cool because the dies do put them into ticket shape as well. So it's kind of cool. This, again, going to go around each of the sides to give it a true postage feel. And wow. And now we'll cut down each of the sides as well, because then those, by using the pinking shears, it makes it look like it was perforated. Now I'm just going to make sure. Wow, I kind of did just let everything fly, didn't I? Oh my goodness, let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Still some fragments, but that's okay. And again, I do ink these, the ones that I stamped up heavily, you know, to really get them going. Sometimes I'll do this with them too, just to get them worn in. So again, it's your own preference, but we have so much available. Now again, if you're not into the vintage feel or the vintage look, you certainly, and I mean certainly, choose, okay, I gotta do this one gingerly. You can definitely, wow, this paper just, ooh, that is amazing. So very lightly, very lightly. You can choose your scrapbook paper, you know, that stuff that's left over. Absolutely, you can choose that and just add that to your pieces. You know, again, it's your choice. You know, that's the beauty of this. It's all your choice on what you want to do, how you want it to look, what you want it to be like. And you can see, like, I can extend that out. And push that across. You know, give it some difference in hanging over. And again, you don't have to sew on these. And again, you don't have to sew on the button. And I think I'm going to put that there. But if I choose to, I mean, I can definitely do it at a later time. I can just put that there. And there is that cluster. So these are great just to add a little bit of an embellishment, to add them to a fabric pocket or to a paper pocket, whatever type of pocket you may have. These are definitely worth it. And can come in very handy. So these are great embellishments. These are great for the front. I like to put them in all throughout, or to add them to certain areas, make them interactive. And we're going to do this. Where are we at with time? Okay, about half halfway through. Put that there. Put that there. And again, I am just setting them down. I am sure that these are not hitting the same mark at which they were before when you first saw them. And you know what? That is so okay. Now this one here. We're going to place that down there. Break up that green just a little bit. And there's our next one. Oh. And this, I'm going to be careful. It's very dangerous. So I'm going to flip that over and let that dry over there because I got glue on the edge of it. Again, we're going to ink. And you know what? I think I'm going to grab a strip of this. So as you have everything out on your table, it's awesome because you'll just keep grabbing for things. So this one, I'm going to do just a little bit differently. So I'm going to put some down the center and always just stick with there. Or stick with that. So I'm going to have that crossover like that. Have that come over like that. You can tell how daintily I am doing this with the inking of the very fragile paper. Center. Put that there. Almost forgot. And we'll put that there. So now I have one that's going vertically instead of horizontally. Again, they all don't have to go in the same direction. Again, have fun with it. Enjoy. Do what you have fun with. You know? There are no rules. Ever. Yeah, and I'm still able to sew down on that if I wanted to. I mean, I can still go around the buttons and all of that. And now we just have this last one. So you can see that, I mean, again, I've always said, yep, I keep that, and yep, I keep that, and you can see why. But while we do that, we need to make sure that we're using them. Or else we will just run out of room. Just saying. Just saying. And I think I'm going to do that same thing. These could be attached to a belly band, you know, to add some decoration. That would be fun. Lift that up just a little bit. because I want to put that down. And then I want to put that down on there like that. And then I'm going to come in, cross like that. I want to use this side, so I'm going to very gently go over. Put this on there. And we'll put that on there. So I love the look of the layers. I really, really do. I think it just it's really cool. There you go. Okay, so let's dry. So what I do is my awesome cleaning where I just push things off. And I gotta remember that I have to go out further to get that done. Okay. So as you can see, let me grab these. So this is the one that I sewed. All right, you can see the stitches there, and I apologize for coughing. Have the button there. We sewed through the button or just tied it on. And then here's a couple vertical ones, you know, where they're going up and down. So these would be good for belly bands, just to add a decoration to that. And again, we can use stamped images. We can use scrapbook paper. We can use extra digital prints. We can use our digital prints. We can use, you know, there's just so much that we can use. Now the great thing is what he also has is he has stamps, which I think are great, of threads. So if you don't have a sewing machine, I mean, this is a great option as well. So I can take this, and if I wanted to, just go straight across that area right there. And there's just a few stitches that are sitting right there. So again, there are all kinds of choices. If I take that again, now again, distress ink is not what you really want to stamp with. You know, so there, now I have some stitches sitting there as well. Now, there's also this block here. Again, Stampers Anonymous. So this is like a really big one. So you can do, you know, stamping just going across each of these pieces if you want. So let's say if I do that, and again, you shouldn't use distress ink to stamp with. There you go. Now I've got that cool texture going on right there. So, and again, I just went over everything, you know, not too worried about what it was going to do or anything else like that. That's the beauty of it. And if I take this side, and there you go, I have it on that side as well. So again, even though you're not actually sewing, that adds a dimension to it, a texture to what you're doing. So again, I hope this was a little bit quicker of a video. I hope. But just to show that, look, there's all kinds of different things that we can, that we definitely can use. So I hope you'll give this a try. I hope you enjoyed it, as always. Hope I gave you some ideas, some tips and tricks, and all of that fun stuff that goes with it as well. The products that I did show and use in these for the tickets and the stamps and everything else will be linked down below in the video description. So just click on that show more to the right, or excuse me, to the left of the video. below it if you're on your computer, and if you're on a mobile device, just click on the arrow down on the right hand side, and that will expand the screenshot as well for you so that you can see those items. If you should have any questions, please make sure you leave those down below, and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. Continue to keep enjoying your day, continuing to stay safe and healthy, and always remember what's most important for me, which I'm sure helps us get through this trying time. Always be creative. Till next time, guys.